Hey guys, what's going on? It's Matt, Train Lover 943. In today's video, I have blogger number 31 here on the PRR Keystone. Alright, so it's been quite a while since my last blog video. It's been about like 3 months or so, and originally I said it wasn't going to be very long until my last one, but I was doing some work on the layout and I had to stop because I didn't have all the pieces, parts I need, and I'll get into this later. So that's really the main delay in the blogs, is that I was getting pieces, parts, but never really finished things. But everything that I wanted to do from that last video is finished, so I'll go ahead and talk about that. However, what I've been doing to kind of supplement the blogs is I've been doing live streams. So the past couple of videos I've been doing some live streams and showed you basically everything you're going to see in this video in those streams. So if you want kind of a Cliff Notes version of what you're going to see today, check out the last 2 live streams I did. You can see all the stuff I've gotten in from DJ and a couple other people, and also a lot of the layout work that I've been doing in the past couple months here. But anyway, let's go ahead and take a look and see what we have here, and we will do the normal stuff, show the layout work, new trains, and then future plans, and I think I'll run some trains at the end of this video too. So alright, let's get going. Okay, so what have I been up to for these past couple months? Well, the biggest thing I've done, hands down, is this. So, in my last video, I mentioned that I had the curves to do 44.5 inch curves for the outside loop. And so I finally did that. And not this section, but the other section, which I'll show you in a minute, was the main holdup in this. So, this section here, which, right in here, this went together really quickly and easily. I got the curves, laid it, and it was fine. The other section, I had a hell of a time with it, and I'll go into that right now. Alright, so now this other section on the other side of the layout, this curve, I had a bunch of problems with it. So the first thing was that when I went to lay it the first time, the track here on each end was too long. So I cut it down by 3 inches, I think, something like that. So that way it just barely goes to the edge. It does sort of hang off a hair bit on both sides, but it's nothing huge. I mean, it's just a hair little bit of the ballast that hangs off, so nothing to worry about. But this curve, when I went to lay it, I must have laid it 7 times, and every single time something new happened. So I put in an order to get the curves because I was missing some curves in this. So I did that, and when I went to lay it, hopefully for what was going to be the last time, I had yet another measurement issue. And long story short, what I have here took quite a while to do, but I am very, very happy with how it looks. The trains run a lot better. My J, which is on the point of the passenger train that's on this outside loop right now, it runs really, really well. It never really liked the R36, so that way I have this in here, and all my other stuff just looks fantastic. So I'm very happy with how this turned out. Another change in the front of the layout here involves the passing siding. So in my last video, I mentioned that I was going to move the track so that way I could have passenger stations all in this front section here. So I did that, and I also bought another passenger station, which I'll show you in the new addition section. So this looks really nice, and I was also able to fit in a small siding, so I got a switch, and it goes off to a dead-end siding back there. I wish it could have been a little bit longer than what it is. It's long enough for a 4-car BMT set, so you can see the N train in the middle track there. It can do 4 cars of that. The Q cars just barely fit, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to move the inner loop up a little bit, and that should give me just enough room to fit the entire Q car set. So that'll be nice. That way I can store them either on this track or on the shelf and not really have to box them up, which will be really helpful. So, but yeah, this area looks really, really nice. I'm really happy with how this is turning out. Alright, so the last thing I wanted to do for this blog video was do the second stall track for my steam area. So where the RS11s are, which is, I guess it's kind of funny because it's a steam section, but anyway, that's the track I wanted to add, so I went ahead and added that, and so it looks really, really nice. So now we got a total of 4 stall tracks in this section. It looks amazing. Alright, so a couple of other things I did to the layout. Now, the first one was something that I wasn't really planning on doing per se, but I went ahead and did it anyway. So, my buddy Chris, Chris Trains and Things, if you're watching this, here's your shout out. I'll be giving a lot of people shout outs in this video, just so you know. So, he was looking for some 036 switches to do a crossover on his layout. And so he asked, I told him, hey, I got some switches, and I really didn't care that I was getting rid of these because I'm going to eventually do the 072 switches. So I had a crossover in this section here, so I went ahead and sold those to him. So Chris, hope you're enjoying those switches, buddy. Another thing I did in the back here was I got rid of my ABA storage track. So it was right in the back here where these back of these buildings are, and it had a switch that connected up there, and I got rid of that really because it was more of a nuisance than it was actual storage. It worked, yes, however, to make it function the way I wanted it to, I had to clear a stall to move the engine on. It was a royal pain and just wasn't really useful. So I went ahead and abandoned that track, and back here I don't know if I'm going to do anything back here. I might just put some scenery or something. I don't know. I did kick around putting a switch and have it go this way as opposed to having the end be here, have it be over there. I don't know. I'd have to really think about it. I don't know. That would be something I'd have to look into, but for right now I'm just going to leave it as it is, and I'll just have to live with it. So, alright, let's keep going. Alright, so one piece of building work I did lately, and this was a while ago, I think it was while I was waiting on those tracks for the curves, was I finished the windows on the engine house, and let me tell you, this was a royal pain. I'm glad I have to do this one time and one time only, because if I had to do this again, I was swearing at it the entire time. But I'm glad these are in. They're not perfect. This is the back side of it, so you can see like this one here isn't really connected very well, but you know what, it's the back side, I really don't care. But yeah, this engine house, I love this thing. I know you guys really, I think in every stream, I think I've gotten compliments or people wanting to see this thing, so I love this engine house. So I want to do some upgrades to this on the inside, so take the roof off, and I'll show you kind of what I'm after here. Alright, so forgive me, so I'm handheld for this scene again too, so apologize for the shakiness. But what I want to do is I want to go into here and paint the end of the walkway here, right here, yellow. I have the paint, just be a matter of doing it. What it would look like this truss color, that kind of yellow. And I think about doing that in here. I'm going to get the TW Train Works service racks. I'm thinking they come in packs of 2, so maybe like one here and like one here. Then if I could put one outside the shop, that'd be really cool too. Get that. I'll get those couple of those Atlas chests, those the little workbench and things like that. So that'd be really cool. But yeah, this engine house is really coming together, and I really love this thing. It's awesome. Alright, so I've got one more piece of layout work that I did, and this one is very huge. So let's go underneath the belly of the beast and take a look and see what we got here. And I have no idea how well this is going to turn out, so I do apologize. So under the layout, I've been busy as all get out. So I went ahead and ended up bus wiring my layout. So I did that to solve voltage problems, because there was problems on the layout. There was trains were stalling, trains weren't really running very well. So I went ahead and bus wired my layout. So I'll show you a detail on that in a second, but I also wanted to do this. I wanted to mount my TIU under the layout here. I had it in the back on my control panel, but I went ahead and put it up here. I also mounted the cereal boxes up here, and so it looks really nice. And this accessory wiring, this is gonna be my next ventures. I'm going to clean all this up, but you can see I'm using these cable staples up here, and so that way it's a lot neater and cleaner. So if I go over there, you can see that it may look like a jumbled mess, but believe me, if this was 4 days ago, it would have been wire on top of wire on top of wire. So it looks really nice, and I'm very happy with how it's looking here. So this has been my main work over the past couple weeks here, getting the wire, installing the TIU under here, and just getting this a lot neater than what it is now. So it's getting better, but it's not quite there yet. Alright, so for under here now, you can see my bus wires. Got 2 of them under here. So what I did was I used 14 gauge speaker wire, red and black for the outside loop, and then I don't have the flash on, so you probably can't tell the colors, but brown and blue for the inner loop. Now the feeds, they're all red and black. That was just the feeds that were on here. I just took what I had and soldered them on real nice and tight and all of that. But they're red and black, but I have the bus wire different colors, so that way I know what loop is to what feed. And then I have these suitcase connectors here, which I know some people hate these things, but I don't really have a problem with them. Once you get the hang of them and start using them, they work great. My dad, he bus wired his layout, and so I really kind of took the inspiration from him, and I helped him do that. So he showed me how to work with this stuff and really get it going. So I really got to thank him for that. So my dad, if you're watching this, thanks. But yeah, it's really nice, and it works a lot better. The trains, there's very little voltage drop, and it really, I'm very happy I did this, because like I said, without doing this, my trains ran like garbage. So it's really nice that I did this. So all right, let's go back up topside and continue on with the video. All right, so as far as the next steps for the layout, the thing I really want to do is I really want to get these 072 switches in. And so I'm probably going to put it in order for at least 2, probably in the next couple weeks here. And in selling the switches to Chris, like I said, I really didn't mind it, because I knew I wanted to do the 072 switches. So it doesn't bother me that I let go of them. I mean, of course I want to get them back as soon as I can, so that way I can have my crossover again. So that's why the 072 is kind of a priority right now. Now, the one thing with the 072, and I'll talk about this in just a second a little bit more, is that the catch to them is that they're longer than the 036. They are a 15 and 5/8 inches long straight section, so they're quite a bit longer than the 10 inch of the 036. Now, the side benefit to this is the spacing between the tracks. And you know, I've said this in a previous video, if I knew that the spacing was smaller than the 036, I thought it was bigger, I just would have bought 072 from the get-go. I mean, spending, what was it, a bunch of money on, like, I think I have 7 or 8 036 switches at one point. You know, they ain't cheap. So it's like, to make this mistake is kind of an expensive one, but what can you do? So that way I'll fix it and it'll be all good to go. But what I have to do is, when I get these switches in, I have to move the inside loop over like 1.5 inches. And it may not sound like a big deal, but it's going to be a daunting task, because I have to move all the track, all the wiring. It's going to be a massive undertaking that I'm not really looking forward to, but what can you do? It's just what's going to have to happen. So, alrighty, let's move on now. So you guys can see this better. This switch will be an 072. That one's no problem. This switch here, however, this one is kind of the main reason why I want to do this. So this switch is going to be for the steam section, which makes sense. You know, I have the J, I've got, you know, the Hudson now, and some bigger engines that look better and would operate better on the 072 switches. However, the catch with the 072 is that it's 15 and 5/8 inches long of straight. I don't know if I have that amount of room to fit an 072 here. Here, the other switch, the crossovers are no big deal. I can move them any way I really need to make them fit. This one, however, I really don't have a choice. If it fits, great. If it doesn't, then there's nothing I can do about it. But I would love to put an 072. I don't know if it's going to fit. But for right now, I'll get those couple so that way I can have my crossover again. Because let me tell you, I miss that thing. But alright, let's move on to the new edition section. Alright, so move on to the new edition section of the video now. So we'll start off with some small additions, and I got a couple of signals in. So I got in this Lino mainline signal. I got in one of these, really nice. Then I also got in this MTH 3-position signal, one of the ones with the dual heads. It's not wired right now. I had it wired and then I disconnected it because I was going to start redoing the accessory wiring and just haven't gotten to that point yet. But yeah, this is a really nice signal as well. Oh, and while we're on the topic of signals, in my last video I mentioned that I had this Pennsy signal bridge from K&R, but at the time I didn't have it installed, so I went ahead and installed that, and you can see it lit up. This is a beautiful, beautiful bridge. So Ken, Rich, if you're watching this, big thanks. I love this thing. It's awesome. Alright, so a couple of small additions on the workbench, and then we will move up back to the layout and take a look at some bigger additions that I got in. So the first thing I got in is this MTH Z controller with a Z500 power supply, and I also got in a QSI power programmer. So the transformer, I got this, I did a trade with my buddy Johnny from Optimus, and I'll go ahead and throw him in the description as well. All these people that you're going to hear shoutouts for are going to be in the description, so if you want to check them out, by all means, go ahead and look in the description and you can see all their channels. So I had a 180 brick and a Legacy Power Master, and they were sitting under the bench doing nothing, absolutely nothing. So he said that, you know, he would be interested in doing a trade because I told him that I needed a new power supply for my workbench. I was using a Power Max transformer from Lionel, the CW80, the knockoff, I guess, if you want to call it that. It wasn't really working well. So I said, Johnny, you know, you want the brick? We do a trade. And so this is the trade. So big thanks, Johnny. Really appreciate it, man. I know you're enjoying the brick, and I'm really enjoying this. So, and then the power programmer, which is right here. This is used to program Proto 1 engines. I've got quite a few now, and so I figured that getting this is a worthwhile tool. So I've got this. I'm still trying to figure out how to use it. It's a little confusing, but I'm sure I'll get the hang of it, and that way I can program my engines a lot better than having to turn the throttle up and down, clinks and clanks. This device is supposed to just hit a button and you're good to go. So we're going to play around with that later on. Alright, so back on the layout, and I'll show you this MTH brewery that I got in. So this is one accessory that's not a signal, and then we'll move on to trains. So I was originally going to get the Coors version of this brewery here, and I was on eBay and one happened to come up. And of course, typical eBay luck, you go to checkout and it's gone. So, but what can you do? So, and then I happened to look at Graham's trains, and I've bought stuff from him before. And he happened to have one of these, so I went ahead and snatched it up. And I'm really happy with this one. Now, my annoyance with this is that it did not come with an on-off switch for the smoke unit. So the way the smoke unit basically worked is it was on all the time, and that was it. So I went ahead and ordered a switch from Lionel, and I installed that so that way it does smoke, and I don't have to unplug a wire all the time. It's just ready to go, and it smokes really well. It's a typical MTH smoking, I'll tell you that. It works very well. So I did not convert this to LEDs yet, and I will in due time. I'm going to probably do some extras with LEDs in here, but for now it's what we got. Now the passenger station that used to be here, I still do have that, and I'm debating on where to put that. I'm not really sure. I'll think of someplace. But this brewery, I'm really happy with this. Alright, let's move on to new trains. There's a ton of them. Alright, so here we go. So, this first set of additions is all going to be from my buddy DJ. So, here's your shout out, DJ. He sold me a bunch of goodies in here. Now, my original intention for this was not to do it in this style of video. What I was originally going to do was I was going to do as I got the items, and I did do this until we did some other things, was I was going to open everything on camera and show everything off, you know, do kind of like a unveiling of everything, and then do a separate video of it running. I was going to call it the truckload from DJ, and everything you've gonna see today I got from him in this little section anyways. But there was two sets he was going to sell me. He was going to sell me the number 7 Flushing, the R36 World's First set, and the number 6 Lexington Avenue local set. And he was going to sell me those, and then he decided to keep them, and I don't blame him in the least. Those are beautiful, beautiful sets. That number 7 train, though, a little piece of me did kind of die when he said he was going to keep that one. It's like, oh, come on, man. So that's why this video did not happen, and I'm doing it this way. It's because I was a little bummed, to say the least. But anyway, let's go ahead and take a look at what we got here. Alright, so the first thing is the R32 N Train. I got all 8 cars from him, and this set is really, really long. It is beautiful, though. So I have the R32 D Train. They sold me that 2 years ago now. Yeah. And so I got this from him. He was going to sell it and said, "You want it?" So absolutely, I said yes. And it's really cool. I converted this one to LEDs, and it looks beautiful. So I'll probably run this at the end, or if not, I'll definitely show it in a future video of some kind or another. So, alright, let's keep going. Alright, next, Mth Premier Dd1 Pennsylvania. When he told me, we made an outline of the list that everything he's going to sell to me, and he said, "I want to sell my Pennsy Dd1, do you want it?" I jumped for joy. I've wanted this set for, probably 12 years, if not longer. This set is beautiful. When he told me he was going to sell me this, I instantly knew what my favorite piece was going to be from this lot that he sold me. And this thing is incredible. The PFA is to die for on this thing. It is wonderful. I will do a video on this one. I love this engine. This thing, out of everything you're going to see today, I think this is my favorite. I love this set. Alright, let's keep going. Alright, next is this whole set, really, here. So it's a 2 pair of Lionel Legacy RS11s. The front one is a New Haven, which is decorated in the early Penn Central colors. So we have the PC red logo up on the front. It looks beautiful. And then behind it we have a Penn Central. Both of these are weathered, and they look beautiful. The Penn Central one is probably my favorite of the two. It actually runs longward forward, which is interesting. And then behind it, we have three cars. We have a New York Central PL&E boxcar that DJ weathered, and then we have a Mth Premier UP cement hopper car, which DJ weathered that as well, and then we have a New Haven Caboose to round out the train. That's one of the ones with the signalman, and again weathered. Really, really nice set, and it's really cool. You know, it goes with some of the other weather items I have from him, and I'm very happy with this set as well. Alright, lastly, I think I've got my new favorite set of cars here. This is the Vision Line Ethanol tank cars. I gotta tell you, these cars are fantastic all the way. The sound effects are fantastic. I thought the reefers were cool. I mean, I don't hear nothing until I heard these. I mean, I haven't even heard these. When I got these, this is the first time I've ever heard them in person. They are fantastic. The sound effects, the ethanol sloshing back and forth is really cool. Just the rail sound. It's different from the reefers. I'll put it this way. It's not the same as the reefers. It's different. It's really, really cool. And what's really nice is they have two cars that have sound. So this one and the one at the other end of the camera have sound. The middle one's a non-sound car. But really cool. They're not as loud as the reefers, yes, but two of them kind of make up for that. It's amazing. So let me quit gloating about these and let me talk about the cars themselves. So the weathering, DJ did the weathering. He did a fantastic job. This one here, the front car here has graffiti on it. It is beautiful. The weathering is awesome. Let me tell you, if Lionel redoes these cars, I would buy them again and again. These cars are awesome. They're long too. I didn't realize how long they were until I got them. I'm like, holy cow, these things are long. So yeah, really cool stuff. So again, DJ, I really appreciate everything you've sold to me then and now. Really appreciate it, buddy. Oh, and if you look closely, your K4 is in the picture too. All right, let's keep going now. All right, so now if all that stuff from DJ wasn't enough, which now that stuff was gotten over a period of months. So in my last blog video, the N Train was visible the entire time. Everything else, the RS11s, the DD1, and the ethanol cars, those were gotten after that time. So they've been here for a little while now. So all this stuff has kind of been here for a while. So it's not like I've gotten this stuff within like the last 2 days. Some of the stuff has been here for 3 months. So, but anyways, right here we've got another piece from Johnny. He sold me this. This is a Weaver Plastics hopper car. Really cool car. It's got some weathering on there. The other side has graffiti. So if I turn it over, there you go. You can see some graffiti. Looks really cool. So it goes along with the modern trains. So I could put it with the tank cars or whatever. And it looks really cool. So thanks, Johnny. Alright, next up we got one of two Penske steam engines to take a look at. This one is a Mth Rail King 280. Now this one I got as a fixer-upper piece on eBay. The listing said it didn't work. Somebody removed all the electronics from the tender. Well, do a little digging and figure out that was not the case. The board on this one is in the engine. So I thought about it. I asked some people around, what it would take to get it going again. And it needed a speaker, which I knew that. It needed a battery, I knew that. However, what I did not know was, joke was on me, the 5-volt board was dead. So I had a spare 3-volt, and I went ahead and threw that in here. And so it works like it should. It's a beautiful engine. It's not the most detailed thing in the world. It's not, the greatest piece ever, but it's really nice. It does the job. It pulls a ton of cars. I mean, these starter set 280s, you cannot kill these things. These things will run forever. These things are great. So I really do like this engine. And I kind of got it more so for nostalgia because the early MTH DCS promotional videos had this engine in it, and I really just kind of liked it ever since. So I'll link one of those in the description. But yeah, this is a really nice engine, so I like it a lot. Alright, let's keep going now. Alright, so after the 280, I got in some cars from Matt from West Chicago Model Railroad. And so I got in this 4-pack of Rail King Erie coal cars, and I also got in a Caboose. This is a breakup from the triplex set they did. And let me tell you, these cars are fantastic. You know, I have one of these in the Rail King club colors from MTH. And it's a really nice car. I mean, I liked it, and when I got these, I'm like, holy cow, it's the same car. It's just a different color, but it's like, wow, these are great. And then the star of the show, though, hands down, is this Caboose. This bay window Caboose is beautiful. The colors, the graphics, everything. It's a beautiful, beautiful car. I mean, I love it. It's the star of the show here. And then also we got in the Vision Line reefers. So let me go ahead and dig those out and show you about those. Alright, and then here's the reefers. Now, this is the 2014 set of reefers. I have the 2016 set, and these cars are beautiful. You know, like I said, I already have some, so I know what they're about. These are great. I think that Lionel's reefers, you know, I said this before, but I don't think I own anything that's from Lionel that's subpar that I wouldn't buy again. And these reefers are certainly no exception. These are great cars. Now, to get these in the Rail King Erie stuff, I let go of my CB&Q F3 set, the silver California Zephyr painted one. It was a beautiful set. It killed me to do it, believe me. I love that set. However, I got to thinking about it, and I really wasn't using it. You know, the cars were garbage. I mean, I think anybody that owned those cars could tell you that. The cars were terrible. So I sold the cars a while back, long before the engine. And I was like, you know what? I'm not using these things. I was going to sell them. And I think Matt was seriously considering just buying them off of me. And then we ended up settling on a trade. And I'll tell you, you know what? I don't mind trading because the way I see it, you know, I'd rather, if I got money for this stuff, I would just put money back into the trains anyway. So I don't mind getting something for something else. So I don't really care. Works just fine for me. So Matt, I hope you got them out by now. But I hope you're enjoying them, buddy. Really appreciate it for all the stuff, and I'm sure you'll be enjoying those F3s. So alrighty, let's keep going. Alright, we're almost done. So the next thing we have is the MTH Proto 2 Blue Q-Type Subway set. This set I got from Chicagoland Hobby on eBay, and they actually had the green set at one point, but they sold it, so it's whatever. But this set's really cool, and I kicked it around, you know, I was asking DJ, you know, should I get it, and he said, yeah, go for it. So I went ahead and got it. Matt also gave me some money, so I got some money from him, and I was also able to sell some stuff, so that's how I acquired this one. But it's really nice. The cars are great. I'm gonna eventually send this to DJ for detailing, not weather. I'm gonna leave the exterior pristine, but the detail interior is gonna come to this one. Really cool. I did not and will not convert this to LEDs because bulbs are prototypical for this set, so that's what we have. Now, the only way I would do LEDs in this, and I would love to find this, so if any guys know, please let me know. An LED strip that looks exactly like a bulb. So something that looks like this, but is an LED strip. Exactly this color. Because the warm white LED look like that's in the building behind you in the camera, that would not look right. It's too white. It's not enough yellow. So if any of you guys know a strip that looks like that, please let me know. I'll buy them and throw them in this set. But really cool. I did edit the sound set on this one to the R1 prime mover sounds, which is correct. The sound set that came from the factory was just like the one in the N Train behind you, and all the other ones. It was that more modern electric sound set. It wasn't prototypical at all. So I went ahead and fixed this one up, and it sounds really good now. So this is the 1939 World's Fair set. So okay, I guess I have one World's Fair set. I can't complain. Alright, let's keep going. Okay, so second to last thing is this Lionel 060T. This is the LC 2.0. This thing's really, really nice. You know, the sound set on it's really good. The smoke output is great. It runs really well. It's a beautiful engine. My only regret with this one is I did not buy the Brooklyn Terminal one first. This Pennsy one, you can find this all over the place. The Brooklyn Terminal, that thing is hard to find. I can't find it anywhere. My buddy DJ, he just happened to get the last one that a train store happened to have. So I guess good for him, but sucks to be me, I guess. But no, it's a beautiful engine. I'd like to get one in the, like I said, in the Brooklyn one. If they did a Reading scheme, I would have gotten that one and put it with this, but they didn't. So maybe next run. But really nice engine. Alright, so I guess we're kind of saving the best for last here. So this is a entire New York Central 20th Century Limited passenger set, except for a few pieces I'm kind of missing and throwing in. But anyway, the engine is a Mth Premier New York Central J1E 5344. It's a Proto 1. This engine, I've been hunting it down for a while, and I ended up looking on Facebook, and a guy wanted to either sell or trade it, and I offered him my weathered Pennsy S2, which, you know, I love the S2s. However, I told myself I would never buy an MTH S2. I had two of them at one point. So, but oh well. Anyways, I offered that to him, and immediately he took it. So I got this engine. Beautiful, beautiful piece. I'm still kind of shocked I even have it. It's a beautiful engine. And then behind it we have a Mth Premier Friendship Train boxcar. This is a Railroad Club car that they made. And then behind the boxcar I have 6 Lionel heavyweight passenger cars. And when I got the cars, I knew I had to do the curves. So when I ordered the 2-pack, I did finish the curves. So I had to do that for this set because they need at least 042. But anyway, it's the 4-pack and the 2-pack. I'm missing the sounds diner, and it's okay because this engine has passenger announcements on it. So I really don't mind not having the diner, because if I got the diner, I would get it more for the car, not for the sound system. So if I find it, great. If I don't, oh well. But yeah, this is a beautiful, beautiful set. I have a Pennsy Pullman car that I throw in here just for a little bit of fun. So that way it'll be 7 cars long, and the engine will pull anything. I mean, these Proto 1 engines, I gloat about the 90s enough, but these 90s Proto 1 engines, these things will pull anything. You could probably put a house behind it, it'll pull it. Really great stuff here. Yeah, this set is amazing. I love it all the way. Alright, so that takes care of new additions, and it's really the end of the video here. I talked about the work I want to do for the layout, so hopefully that'll be done in due time and I can do another update and show you guys, you know, the switches and all that sort of thing. I also do have an AIU coming in, so I will go ahead and install that when it comes in, so I can get the switches all set up, and so that'd be really cool, so I'm excited for that. So, but I'll end this video by running some trains. The past scene you saw with the Hudson, I took that off and I got all subways on right now, so I'll end the video by running some subways. So, alrighty guys, take good care and we'll see you around. Also, don't forget to check the description of this video. I got a lot of links to a lot of folks in the description, so be sure to check out all their channels, like and subscribe to them, as well as me. So, alrighty guys, take good care and we'll see you around.
mode, detention. Try your doors again. Yes, do what you want to do. Mode is subject. Yes, I have notification. The next stop will be West 4th Street, Washington Square. Please stand clear of the platform. The train is going to Pennsylvania.